Hi, welcome back to our Friday night live. It's been a while since I host one. I believe it's more than a month ago. So today we're gonna chat and just talk about Elon Musk. And I'm actually waiting for a friend, Relay, to come on. I think there's some technical difficulties at the moment, but so we're gonna talk about Elon Musk because he has been become a enemy of state. A lot of people are having different opinion about him, and he literally was a hero before, a visionary, a entrepreneur, and now he's working as a senior advisor with President Trump, and a lot of people are hating him. So while we're waiting for my friend Renee, I'm going to share this video with you guys because this is from Joe Rogan. And this is an interview with Elon Musk, and I believe this is the third time that he is on Joe Rogan. So while we're waiting for my friend, I'm gonna just share this video with you guys, and I'll be right back.
Years he didn't have a cure.
What could possibly go wrong?
Also, wouldn't be the reason to do that so that you could develop a cure at the same time? And clearly you didn't have a cure. So this is really foolish and bizarre.
Yeah. I think we should stop trying to genetically engineer superviruses. That's insane.
I mean, when you're going through all this USAID stuff, like, here's what's weird. First of all, what is it like to buy a company for $44 billion and then people call you a Nazi on that same thing that you bought?
I did not see it coming. It's classic. People will gobble anything down.
Yeah. Oh, he's never gonna stop.
What
is it like? Like all of a sudden, people used to. The left was in love with you.
Yeah.
And now the same idiots are calling you a Nazi. It's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in my life.
I mean,
there's so many examples of people saying my heart goes out to you.
Sure,
you did it with a little enthusiasm that probably wouldn't be recommended with hindsight.
Yes, but I was obviously meant in the most positive spirit possible.
Yes. Yeah. Obviously. But it's so strange where people want to think that you are openly publicly doing secret Nazi Sieg Heil hand motions.
And now I can never point at things diagonally. I can only point at things there and there. And then I see you have to divide that.
Yeah.
Because that's where the spaceship is, over there. And it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. When CNN, when I was in all my trouble.
Absurd.
Every time CNN used a photo of me, it was one of the photos from the UFC weigh-ins where I go like this, welcome to the weigh-ins. So every photo is me. Every photo is me with
it's absurd.
It's so crazy.
It's deliberate propaganda. So they know it was not. It was obviously not meant in a negative way. That I literally said my heart goes out to you, and it was very positive. The entire speech was very positive. I was being very enthusiastic about the future in space, and it was a great crowd. So
you got a little pumped up.
Yeah, it got pumped up. Exactly.
Yeah, that's all it is. Obviously. There's video of Tim Walsh doing the exact same thing. Right. Exact same thing. And he said, of course, it's a Nazi salute. He said that.
Right.
This is how crazy things have gotten. Like,
well, it's coordinated propaganda. So it's coordinated propaganda. It doesn't seem weird that the legacy media all says the same thing. They all say the same thing at the same time using the same phrases. They don't even bother picking up a thesaurus.
Right.
So, like right before, the debate between Biden and Trump. Everyone was saying sharp as attack. Like, who says sharp as attack? But
yeah, exactly.
It's like it's not a common phrase.
It's definitely not common to be repeated on air with multiple people simultaneously. That's weird.
Yes.
That's coordinated.
100%.
100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like hundreds of people saying it simultaneously. they just got their instructions.
Yeah.
So I mean, essentially, the Dem leadership, or political leadership, they issue their instructions, and their puppets carry it out.
Yeah.
And they're just like puppets in a puppet show.
And that's the problem that I see with all this DOGE stuff,
Right.
because everybody should be celebrating that we've found a way to cut out fraud and waste.
Yeah.
If you pay taxes and you don't like that you have to pay so much in taxes, and then you find out that there's significant fraud and waste that's been exposed, you should be celebrating it. This shouldn't be,
Exactly.
oh no, the wrong people found this fact and now it's a bad thing.
Right.
And then there's the fucking propaganda, the mind fuck of calling it U.S. aid.
Yeah.
Instead of the United States Agency for International Development. It sounds like it's feeding hungry people.
Right.
People are going to starve, Elon. This is horrible. And then you find out actually it's like $250 million for transgender animal studies. Like, it's like
literally mutilating animals.
Yes.
Mutilating animals in demented studies.
Yes.
That are like the worst thing you could possibly imagine from a horror show.
The beagle one, the beagle puppy one.
Horrific,
yeah, where they covered their head in a basket and put fleas on their heads to eat them alive.
Yeah.
And then they studied these beagles and then killed them. Like, what are you going to learn from that? That's good for anybody.
Yeah. This some psychotic stuff that happens. So, yeah, I mean, I guess the real threat here is to the bureaucracy. So, like you probably saw, like, let's say like Trump is a threat to our democracy, which is ironic since he was elected with the majority of the popular vote. They started saying I was a threat to democracy. But if you just replace threat to democracy with threat to bureaucracy, it makes total sense.
Right.
So, I mean, the reality is that our elected officials have very little power relative to the bureaucracy until DOGE. So DOGE is a threat to the bureaucracy. It's the first threat to the bureaucracy. Normally the bureaucracy eats revolutions for breakfast. This is the first time that they're not, that the revolution might actually succeed, that we could restore power to the people instead of power to the bureaucracy.
Now, the size of it was when you guys first started investigating it, when you first get in, how much of it was shocking? Like this, just the size of it all.
Well, the size of it all, the small decisions result in multi-billion-dollar outcomes. So, we'd see, it was a case where we saw one person was getting $1.9 billion sent to their NGO, which basically got formed about a year ago and had no prior, no prior activity. So they just stand up an NGO. The whole NGO thing is a nightmare, and it's a misnomer, because if you have a government-funded non-governmental organization, you're simply a government-funded organization. It's an oxymoron.
Right. It's a loophole.
Yes. It basically, the government-funded NGOs are a way to do things that would be illegal if they were the government, but are somehow made legal if it's sent to a so-called nonprofit. But these nonprofits are then used to, people cash out these nonprofits. They become very wealthy through nonprofits. They pay themselves enormous sums through these nonprofits.
It's so insane that that's been going on for so long.
It's a gigantic scam, like one of the biggest, maybe the biggest scam ever.
And how many NGOs?
I think there's a total number of NGOs, probably millions, but in terms of large NGOs, tens of thousands. I mean, it's actually kind of a hack to the system where someone can get an NGO stood up for a fairly small amount of money. Like George Soros is really good at this. Like George Soros is like a system hacker. Like he figured out how to hack the system. he's a genius at arbitrage. I mean, these days he's pretty old, but a genius at arbitrage. So he figured out that you could leverage a small amount of money to create a nonprofit, then lobby the politicians to send a ton of money to that nonprofit, so you can take what might be, a $10 million donation to a nonprofit to create a nonprofit and leverage that into $1 billion NGO. And a nonprofit is a weird word. It's just a non-governmental organization. And then the government continues to fund that every year. And it'll have a nice sounding name, like the Institute for Peace or something like that. But really, it's a graft machine.
And what are the requirements with that?
Okay. We finally had my friends on, and let's see, I'm gonna have to add. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Bear with me, please. Okay, let's see. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay. Yes. Yeah.
All right. Finally, we tried.
Yeah.
We have a different technical difficulty, but finally we got you. We use Facebook instead.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, how you been? Thank you for joining me live right now.
I'm doing good.
Good. So,
what can I say?
Yeah, we
Trump won, so
we haven't talked for a while. Last time when we talked was like what, a year ago, right? I think.
No, not that long. About 6 months ago, or longer. Before it was way before.
Before
maybe 8 months.
Yeah, before the what is it called? Before the election.
Yeah, way before the election. Yeah.
Yes, well, even before the
and between
shooting.
Yeah, between the last video and this video, I didn't put anything on my YouTube. Not so. It's gonna be right after the last video I had.
Okay. Yeah. So today we're gonna talk a little bit about Elon Trump. Sorry, not Elon Trump. Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Okay.
Elon Musk. Yeah.
Yes, Elon Musk. So, I saw your post. Are you gonna really buy a used Tesla now?
Yeah. No, I never will buy an electric car. But for me, I mean, I'm 75, so I'm not thinking about an electric car. And but I like him. I like to see him on the roads. I see a lot of Teslas here, and even in Simi Valley where I live.
Yeah.
And they're beautiful cars, and they go fast. And I always like to see a Tesla, because I like to see. It doesn't matter if he's a billionaire or how many billions he has. He's a businessman, and he did a lot of good for the environment, because 2 or 3 years ago when he was a Democrat, he was fantastic.
Right.
And now behind Trump, and all of a sudden they have to destroy him. It's all jealousy. That's all it is. And he's not with the party anymore, because the Democratic Party is done. It's over for them.
Yeah.
The next decade,
they
will never be in the White House.
I was telling everyone on here before you come on, he is literally from a hero become an enemy of the state.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And what's your thought? Why is like that? Like, there's a lot of reasons. Everybody has a different.
Oh, well, a lot of reasons is like the Democrats, they have to win. They think they're the best, and there's not even one Democrat in government who's a businessman. There are a few. You have a few, and those few, they stand behind Trump because they know what business is. There's all like Schumer and occasionally AOC. They have no clue what business is.
Yeah.
The only thing, they get a paycheck every month. And if they can put something in the pocket, lining up the pocket with some money, because that's all they think about. See, they don't think about the businessman. They don't think about how things come on the table, the food and the fuel and everything else. And
Right.
because we business people who work in factories, we make things going, not the government. The government just tried to get more money, and that they have a comfortable living, like the last president we had, or before Obama, and he said we have to suffer a little bit to get it better, but he doesn't suffer. He has 4 houses,
Right.
in Martin Vineyard and in Hawaii, and so he's not going to suffer, and so it's all how much they can steal, for their own pockets. And if there's an Elon Musk, and they will say it doesn't matter how much money the man makes. He makes the world better, and with his rockets, he's like an Einstein. When you want to kill up an Einstein, it's ridiculous. But then you see how dumb, the left is, the party is, because they have no clue what it means to be in business, So, and Trump, he's a businessman,
Right.
And then I hear stories how he steals and he does this and he does that. I think you see what's happening now with the DOGE.
DOGE,
They're
yes.
close to $1 trillion already. What gets stolen and what floated back in the pockets of all the Democrats and also the Republicans.
Yes.
Both sides, not just one side, both sides.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
There's I want to ask you opinion on this one. So Elon Musk is trying to save humanity. On the other hand, another similar billionaire, Bill Gates, he is trying to depopulate humanity. And funny, interesting is one, they want to say the one who want to save, people hate him, and the other one, people don't even notice that like the vaccines, the virus, all that, and they don't even hate that, to be aware of this person instead. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, well, that like with Bill Gates, I think he invests his money. It's more greed. He wants more money. He wants more power.
Sure.
And Elon Musk, he has so much money, he wants to give it away. He works there for free, to help us that we get some more money in our pockets, and he's not touching Social Security, because I have friends down the left, and they're so afraid he's going to take my Social Security. So he said, "Are you out of your mind? What makes you think that he's going to go in your Social Security and take $100 out or $500 out? The man is a multi-billionaire. He said he just want to make it better. And then when you hear those stories that people collecting Social Security after 120 years old, not 5 or 100. No, they talk about the 3.5 million people. And but they said that years ago already that happened. And then Schumer, we're going to do something about it. Oh yeah, we have to get all the I'd say that.
So
I say that all the bad things out, and but they never did, because next day they get the checking can, they can make some money on the side. They don't think about that. It's all talk. That's what they all do. Talk and talk, promise you things, and lie to you. And if you're not in business, you have a lot of people. They work for a paycheck, and they don't know better, And if somebody said, "Oh, they're gonna get your paycheck," oh, my paycheck, And but that's what I'm saying. But people who are in business, they understand what's going on. I understand Trump. Tariffs. Yeah. So, I mean,
Tariffs.
I come from the Netherlands, Holland, you know that,
Mm-hmm.
and I drive a Mercedes because Mercedes, that was just Mercedes, no big deal. But I wanted a Lincoln, So in the 70s, I went to the Lincoln dealer
Mm-hmm.
and to buy a Lincoln, and it cost me 50% more than a Mercedes.
Mm.
And this is all because of tariffs. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So I cannot afford that. So, and that means they cannot sell those cars. Yeah, a few, but not enough.
Uh-huh.
So if all the tariffs are gone, and just what you hear too on TV, you have millions of Toyotas here. You go to Japan, there's not even one Chevy because of tariffs. So now we say, okay, now we put tariffs on there and we make it equal, so
Right.
that everybody, yeah, because that's what's going to happen now here in America. Start building those factories. People have a job.
Right.
The money stays here. Yeah, and we can produce more for the rest of the world too. But they all stop us with tariffs, So, and I
Right.
see it's great. I'm glad that Trump won because we really dodged the bullet with Kamala. I really do.
Yeah.
It would be so bad, So,
But also
no,
people
I'm happy.
but also people was concerned about how he lay off a lot of government worker, especially the
That's perfect.
IRS.
That's perfect.
Mm,
Yeah, because those people gonna start working in factories, so they bring money in by working.
okay.
Government, the people who are still working bring in the money to pay for the government employees. So
Uh-huh.
now they are fired. Now they start working in a factory and make money for themselves and for this country. So simple is it. And the government get less because we don't need that much government. Yeah.
Mm,
Education. I mean, there are 30,000 like people out of jail there, and I think it was in the West Coast somewhere, 30,000 criminals they let out. Yeah, and there are 40,000 people working there to take care of those prisoners. I mean, it costs a lot of money,
mm.
but you cannot let them loose, And now we're deporting all those criminals. It's just awesome, because I'm an illegal immigrant. I waited
Same
10
here.
years
Me
for my
too.
green card,
Me too.
and I'm here for now 45 years, but I never been arrested. I never did anything wrong. No. So I'm not afraid that they're going to arrest me. I'm not afraid of that.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
if you're criminal, you can better go back by yourself so you can go back to your own country before you go to Venezuela and sitting there in jail.
Mm.
So, no,
Yeah.
I'm all for it. What happened with the border?
Right.
Biden said we cannot do it without the right. We have to make a deal together so in order to close the border. Now Trump is there. 1 month, boom, closed, done. So simple is it. So
Yeah.
that was it. All that
So
they did for the last 4 years is lie to you, and Biden fill up his pockets a little bit more, and Obama too, because you cannot tell me that Obama didn't know what was going on. How come he has 4 big houses? Not from his paycheck, no,
yes.
from stealing.
Yeah, because I remember just about a year ago, because Elon Musk bought to Twitter and then he lost all the ads money. And
Yeah,
remember, he told Disney CEO to go F up because he
I
doesn't
yeah,
care
I
about the
yeah,
money, right? Remember
yeah,
that? Yeah, so I
yeah. Of
think
course, I remember it.
I think we should have people like this, so it won't be, like try to steal the money, like you said, or have a corrupt system because they're
Yeah.
not there for the money. You know what I mean?
Well, you saw what happened. That just let's say Elon Musk he bought Twitter, 44 billion.
Right.
Here's money enough. That was 44 billion. But we got back our free speech, and then we find out
Yeah.
how government is putting down free speech.
Yes.
And so now we'll be glad of. This is the best thing will happen, Elon Musk, because he has so much money, and also Trump. You know
Hmm.
because I'm from the Netherlands, and everything will happen with Trump with his business. Try to ruin him. That will happen with me and smaller then, smaller business, but they cut me out of business. Yeah, that's the reason I came to America. I didn't have money enough to fight them. But
Oh,
Trump has money to fight him, and he did. And he did with his own money. Because every president get rich, but Trump, it cost him more than $1 billion already to be president. And it cost Elon Musk millions and maybe billions of dollars, to make it right here for the American people that we have free speech.
sure.
That's because
Yes.
Elon Musk has the money, because I cannot do it, and you cannot do it. A lot of people cannot do it. 99.9% of the population cannot do what
Right.
Elon Musk for us. So he did more for us. So, and now they after him, and the worst thing is that he got so many threats, death threats. It's just horrible. It's just horrible.
Yeah. What do you
Boy.
think? So I found it a little bit strange is the people who get upset because he lay off people from government agencies, but at the same time
Mhm.
they destroy Tesla, let's say Tesla, the car, or Twitter, but that's also was a company or are the companies that employ
Because people don't
thousands of
think,
people too, right?
I know, because people don't think those Democrats, because they think they gonna hurt Elon Musk. They don't hurt him. They hurt the people who work for him.
Exactly.
If he has to fire some people because his sales are coming down,
Yeah,
and it's just temporary,
yeah,
and he can afford it. If you don't make money for 10 years, he has money for 1 million years in his pocket. So you're not gonna hurt Elon Musk. You hurt the people who bought those cars.
yeah,
That's the people you're hurting.
exactly.
And that's what I say. They are so stupid. There are so many people who they have really no brains. That's the reason why they don't work. Yeah, and living on the government and the food stamps, or they work and they have a paycheck because they never wrote a paycheck. You know what I mean? So I
Okay.
say I've been all my life in business. I wrote paychecks, not one or two, no, tens of thousands of paychecks. And you take the risk that you go under. And that happened too in 1992. I went
Hmm.
out of business. Yeah, and in 2006, my other business went out of business, and now I'm retired, of course.
Okay.
And I have it better. I have food. I have a car. You eat what I want. You go to the doctor if I have to, and I feel good. And I've got a nice place to live. What
Mm-hmm.
else you need? I mean, $5 million in the bank when I die. Doesn't matter how much money you have when you die.
Right.
So, but if you have a good life, and that's what Elon Musk is trying to do, to get people a little bit more money, and
Yeah.
we kind of make products here. So the food prices are coming down. This only can happen when energy comes down. And when it all comes down, the food prices will come down too in a little bit. And if everybody can get a job, yeah, then
Yeah.
we get more money, income, and it will average out. That don't happen in the next week or in the last 4 weeks. I mean, you have to build that up. So it take maybe a year, maybe 2 years. Yeah,
Right.
let's hope before the midterms that the factories are there and that people say, "Hey, I have a nice paycheck. I can afford a house now." Because nobody can
Yeah,
afford a
and
house.
then the crime rate will come down as well. And
Yeah, that's another thing. That's
right?
that's that's the most important thing. That
Yes.
you don't have to live in fear. If you have a neighbor that you know he's a criminal, you're afraid to say something.
Yeah.
And if you see that he gets arrested, then you're happy that he's gone. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I don't have him here around me, luckily. But if I go over the hill, where I live, Simi Valley. If I go over the hill there in Chatsworth, they've started already. Homeless people, and
Uh-huh.
a lot of bums. And if I go to the other side, it's the same thing. So it's yeah, I'm happy where I live, but I'm looking around too. If I drive, and some some people you make mistakes, and they give me the finger.
Oh,
I'm not, I never give anybody the finger. I never did it in my life. Not to nobody.
I
Yeah,
see.
yeah, just fun. To a friend of mine, fun, but not to the no, no. I never did. I never will. You know,
Okay.
because if somebody is mad and you get mad, then you have a fight. Yeah,
Mm,
and in a fight, there are no winners. and or they hit you in the ear or your stomach, or you get a knife in your ribs, and then you're done. You can say, "Yeah, it was his fault," but you're laying 6 feet under. So one has to be the smart one, and say,
Yes.
"Okay, sir, sorry, you're right." Yeah, even when he's not right, sir, you're right. And it's over. You know, and that's you see on the road that so many times road rage. Yeah, I've been in there when I was younger. Yeah, it happened. I know.
Mm-hmm.
But I was always lucky nothing happened. But you get older, you get also, I think, a little bit smarter too. And by the
Mm-hmm.
time you know everything, you're gonna.
So, what about what do you think about those U.S. aids, those money going out to other countries that they spend
That,
on I don't know, weird stuff?
well, we see that. We see what happens. And same with the judge.
Judge, yes.
And who stopped Trump to deport those criminals. His
Uh-huh.
daughter, yeah, she has a non-government organization, but the
Mm,
government put money in there, so his daughter gets a lot of money to protect immigrants, illegal immigrants.
mhm.
So they roaming off hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yeah, even if it's
Okay.
$20,000, that doesn't matter how much it is. But Trump stopped that. So the judge said, "Hey, my money is not coming in anymore." Well, dare you do that? I'm gonna get you,
Hmm.
because he's doing that for years already. And Trump is stop it. He did stop it. He stopped everything, all the corruption was going on. They stop it, and
Mhm.
they don't like it. That's the point. They don't like it because Trump is now in their pockets. Yeah, the government can be in your pocket. That's okay, but not in their pocket. Trump is doing in their pocket. And if Trump have to spend another $1 billion out of his own money, he's happy to do that.
Mhm.
So it's the same with Elon Musk. He's happy to do that to make this country better for people here who live here legally or born here, Americans, and
Yeah.
not for the government.
So someone on the chat comments that this is never going to stop until we get the devils out of the system.
Yeah, yeah. To make America great again, you can never make it perfect, but you can make it a lot better than it is because you see what happens, like in France
Mm.
with Le Pen, yeah, and she's gonna win too, yeah. They
Mm.
got her in court, and she got 4 years in jail. She can sit at home with a monitor on her leg, but she cannot run for president. That's what they do in Europe too. They do that for so long already. It's the same in the Netherlands, where I'm from.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes.
Wilders, he won finally because you have about 12 or 13 parties, not like here two, the left and the right. No, we have about 13 or 14. Yeah, and then the biggest party, if you have 20% of the population of the vote, you're big, but you have to have 51% in order to govern.
Mm.
So you need other parties to go with you. Yeah, say somebody else has 18. So, and then you have 38 already, and somebody has 13 seats.
Right.
So then you have three big parties who kind of do run over. That's the government. They make the government out of that.
Uh,
But like with Wilders, he's the biggest party, yeah, because he's on the right, and all the left parties they don't want to govern with him, so they just cut him out. So he
mm.
still can do nothing. But here it's different, yeah. If you win,
Yeah.
like Trump, he can do things, but in Europe he can do nothing. There are too many parties, yeah, and he
Uh-huh.
can never govern the way you want to. And you see what happened with immigration there. It's as bad. I knew it already because and when they start doing it here, it's gonna be the same as in Europe because it's real bad already.
Mhm.
Because those Muslims, they were there. You cannot say anything. They have their own laws and they do everything, and you can say nothing because they put you in jail, like in England. You can not say anything, so you have to
Same
ask
same as
the
China.
police already.
Same as China.
Yeah,
China already
you do that. Yeah,
have a how do
yeah.
you call that, social credit?
Yeah, so, yeah, social credit. Yeah, you get points. Yeah, you cannot even move from one city to another city till you have a card, that you have points. Is what you say, that you behave. And if you don't get the points. You cannot travel. And
Yes.
or they pick you up and put you in jail. And
And
that's the same like what's going to happen in Europe, and that's what they want here too. One world population, one world government. Yeah, that means
yes.
they have all the power, they have all the money, and you can work for peanuts. Yeah, and if you don't work for peanuts, you have no.
Yeah, we were talking
And
about
then
Bill
first
Gates.
stop, first stop.
We were talking about Bill Gates earlier. He is the one wanna create this digital social ID for here.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
because he's a man. He said, well, he spent some money for schools in other countries, but he's doing nothing. He only think about himself. It's the same with all those injections. He put money in there, yeah, to make money. Yeah, but
He invests a lot in Africa as
yeah,
a lab for those
yeah, and,
vaccines.
and probably a lot of U.S. aid, U.S.
Yes, USA.
AID goes to South Africa too, and maybe he's on the other end. Oh, how many came in? 5 million, 2.5 million for me, and the rest is for you guys. Yeah, but we need some money too. So
Hmm.
on the end, not even 10% get to the people who need it. Yeah, because
Yes,
90% get in the pockets wherever it goes. I've seen it. What's Elon Musk was saying?
right.
Uh, 20 million went to counter, now 40 million, and there were 20 million on wages already.
Right.
They round that up, half of it, for their people who send it to the other countries. No, they will say that's corruption. What's going on?
Yeah,
And then it
they
gets up.
they even have money goes to I forgot what country for the animal transgender. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, I
That's
know, I know. Yeah,
crazy.
well, yeah.
Animal.
I mean, I'm 35 years uh, cross dresser, but I disagree with everything, and I don't want men in women's sports. I
Okay.
never thought about things like that. I
Yes.
mean, I did it as a hobby, in the weekend when I go out, and have a party.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Monday morning, 8 o'clock, I had my business, was on the truck, and I did my business, went to my customers. Yeah, and
Yeah.
but I'm not going to go to my customers in my place and say, now you have to say she, or madam or lady. It's all bullshit. You know what I mean? And it's less than 1% of the population.
Exactly.
So why do 99% of other people bow to me? Because I'm a little bit different than somebody else? No. So and that was say, and it doesn't matter. I have friends. Well, that too. I have a lot of friends who are transsexual. And they go out as women,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yes.
and they're still my friends. And they voted for Trump too.
Yeah.
But I
Yes.
also, yeah. Oh, you're crazy, and you're cross-dresser too, and you're gonna vote for Trump, and he's gonna do this, and he's gonna do that. He said, Trump is not gonna do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Don't Trump don't care if you wear a dress or not. He really don't care, you know. But you want more rights than anybody else, yeah.
Yeah.
And Trump did the same in the army,
Right.
because when they have always problems, or they have to make up. I mean, if you go into war, you need men who want to fight.
Mm.
And another friend said, "Oh, my shoe broke off, or my foot came out, or whatever it is. Yeah,
My
stay out of
yeah,
there. Do other things. You can get another job.
my
You know?
makeup is is more.
Yeah, it's messed
Just
up.
kidding.
Yeah, my eyelashes are coming up. Yeah, yeah.
Just
So,
kidding.
but that's normal. I mean, if I mean, I never been in the army, but I had to go when I was 18. I had to go there, and
Mm.
I was healthy and everything. Everything was good, but I had a
Right.
bad back then already. And I had my own business already. He said, I cannot do that. But there were guys that were gay as they come, They invented it. They're sitting there, I don't have to go in the army. And the guy said, yeah, we know that already. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Because if you were gay, you didn't go. So you didn't have to go that way. But I know a lot of stories still, gay men, who went in the army because they couldn't tell their family, that they were gay, because then they don't have to go either, But hide it from the family that they were gay. They went in the army, I know those stories, And he said, I hated it. He said, but I had to do it. He said, you're 18 years old, you don't know better, you tried to hide it. And he said, I always regret that I did it, but I had no choice, because they could not find out that I was gay. And I said to him, he said, everybody knows that you're gay. He said, he invented it, and he goes like with his hands.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're young, you don't know that much, And when I was 18, I thought I knew everything. I had my own business, already when I was 18. Actually, when I was 16, I started already. And I learned a lot over all those years. And I was always involved with people who were 10 or 15 or 20 years older than I was. And they give me some advice on, hey, do it this way or do it that way. You better don't do this, because then that can happen. Oh, hey, it's good that you told me that, So people help you in the business. So, and then I came to America, and I've been in the flower business. And there in Rio, there are a lot of Dutch people. And they saw me, and 5 minutes later, I had all the credit I wanted, because they knew he's going to do it right, And I did that for 10 or 15 years. So, no, it's if you're in business, and I can say 99% of the people who are in business voted for Trump.
Definitely.
So,
Yes.
and there are a few who are in business.
Yes.
But they move over late.
Yes. And when you do business, actually, they don't really care about who you are or which side you're on, as long as you can do the business,
You do
right?
business, want to
Serve the
make money.
people. Yes.
Yeah,
When people make money, everybody wins. There's no
of course.
side,
And I still do.
yeah.
So it's service, giving service. I had a limousine business. You give service. If people call, I'm there. I'm a driver. I'm on time. I'm never late. Never ever late. And if I get late, I give them a call. I'm maybe 5 minutes late, but I give them a call. Then I'm on my way. That something happened. But I did so many things. Even I'd rather be 2 hours early than 5 minutes late. I've
Yes.
flew a lot of times, all over half the world, back and forth to America and the Canary Islands and Hawaii, but I always was 2 hours earlier on the airport than I had to be, because you can get a flat tire, and if you don't have time left, you're screwed already. So I never miss my flights, never ever, always.
That's good. Yeah.
And if I had people working for me, they had to be on time.
Yeah.
And I paid them a little bit extra, 3% of the sales, but it was on the taxi business. They get 3% extra a month over the sales, and the sales were about 5,000 a month per driver at that time. I'm talking about the 70s. And so you get 3% over 5,000. That's $150 extra a month, just for being on time. And if you leave on time, you get 2%. So that costs them $50 already. And then the third time they were late, well, I'm late 3 times already now. I don't have to come on time anymore, because I lost my $150 already. And I said, if you're not on time tomorrow, you're fired. Fired? Yeah, then you're fired. Oh, well, might as well come on time, eh? Yeah. And so most people, they were fired because they cannot come on time. Yeah, people, they never on time, So you fire them and you let them go. But on the other side, people that were always on time, and it cost me money. In the long run, I was making money because I had customers take down on me.
Yeah.
I need every day at 7 o'clock. I need a taxi. every day, 5 days
Mhm.
a week, 7 o'clock. Yeah, but every day at 7 o'clock, the taxi was there. And why he came to me?
Mhm.
Because he couldn't count on other taxi drivers because they were delayed or he missed his train, or yeah, or his airplane or whatever he did,
Yes.
And so you have to be on time. So and that's my whole life. I'm always on time.
That's
Always.
awesome. Yeah, I'm me too. I kind of try to be on time, and
Yeah, you are.
yeah,
Yeah, you are.
otherwise it's a bad reputation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because people count on you. And the
Right.
point is, yeah, and I had a delivery service too, and I had 5 drivers, five men. You go there and there and there, 9 o'clock
Mm.
a year with all the flowers, and then you give it to everybody, and then you go to LA and you go there, and then one driver is 20 minutes late. The
Mhm.
other 4 drivers are waiting for 20 minutes. Oh, it's only 20 minutes I'm late. Yeah, it's 4 drivers times 20. But you with 60 minutes, that's an hour I'm losing. Yeah, I'm losing an hour delivering time. But cost more than $100.
Yeah, I totally understand.
Because you late, we all suffer. Yeah, no, but that's true. That's true. So,
Okay.
but no, yeah. Go ahead with another question.
Well, last question's gonna. Well,
Okay.
we're almost done here. So, last question
Okay.
for you is so right now the core. I believe the core has already made a decision, right?
Ooh.
For Elon Musk.
Okay. Yeah, Elon Musk. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's
Go
gonna
ahead.
continue to be
Oh yeah.
the advisor. Yeah.
Yes. 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 That will say he does that all pro bono for free.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
People would say that's awesome, but
Right.
they lost and they're pissed that they didn't win, and it's jealousy too, or believe me, it's jealousy too, because somebody who has a Tesla is not going to trust another
Yeah.
Tesla.
One more
Yeah.
last thing I want to point out,
Yeah.
and you can, give us some thought, because I also noticed the last 4 years we don't have any protests, we don't have any, attack, and now we have a protest, we have attack.
Oh,
I think that the Antiva is back.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Antifa. They fought. They made a lot of damage. Antifa, when Trump was elected in 2016. They make a lot of damage. People were murdered. Precincts were caught on
Mhm,
fire, set on fire. Car
mhm.
dealerships were set on fire. And well, that's okay because they're
Yeah.
the Democrats. And then we lost in 2020 between halves. We didn't lost. We know they stole it. Because the Democrats thought to be smart because
So
they will say in 2016 they never thought that Trump was going to win. I'll know that happen. You see it on TV all the time. It's never going to happen, but he did win. They're going like fuck. And then in 2018 they knew already he's going to win 2022.
mm,
And then you know what happened. And they stole it, guaranteed stolen. And then they tried to keep him out in 2020 or 2024 to try to get him out, and that didn't work. So they are done. They are toasted. Yeah, there will be
uh-huh.
no Democrat president in the White House for a decade or longer. Believe me, watch my words. It's not
Mhm.
going to happen because they lied too much, and they tried too much. They tried to assassinate Trump. Can you imagine if that happened? Can you imagine if he was dead? How it will look right now? It will be chaos, chaos. So,
Mm.
no, I'm happy with Trump, and I thank all the people who voted for Trump. I have Democrat friends, I'm so friends with them.
Yeah, same
I
here.
always say, hey, you want to vote for what's her name, Kamala
Kamala
Harris?
Harris. Yeah.
Fine, it's okay. But don't complain if you lose, and don't complain that Trump is stealing, because that's not true. It said I had to look at Biden for 4 years. I never had the attention or telling people from, oh, we have to kill him. Then say, okay, well, we'll see what happened. And this is what people voted for, between the halves. Yeah, and I'm 75. I'm not worried about it,
Yeah,
But if you
like
young,
yeah, like you
yeah,
said, nobody will want to try to harm, you know, Biden, right? But
no,
don't you
and
feel,
I don't want
yeah,
to beat him.
people,
He's an a-hole. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it's a human life. So, and I'm glad he was not assassinated, so people could see for 4 years, yeah, how corrupt he was, yeah, and how bad he was,
mm,
and he was not the president. He was just a puppet on the string, for
mhm,
Obama, Schumer, and and Nancy Pelosi. Yeah, those three. Yeah, they're the boss.
yeah,
And they thought we're gonna make it. We put Biden in there, and then we okay, and then we make sure that Trump don't come in the next time, and we are the winners. And it didn't work out. It didn't work out. So and
okay, yeah,
that's the story.
that,
That's the story.
yeah, yeah. Thank you again for joining me, and this is a very
Okay.
great conversation. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
Thank
I
you
love it.
for
So,
doing it, because
yeah,
I
so
can
yeah,
send it out to my friends.
we almost didn't made it because of the technical
I know
issue,
we dodged
but
the
we
bullet.
made it this
Yeah,
time. Yeah.
we did dodge the bullet, and I
Touch the
gotta send
bullet.
this video to all my Democratic
Yeah,
friends too.
show us your hat because you were sitting too far away. We can't see what it says on the top earlier.
Trump
What does
2024.
it say? Like,
Trump 2024.
oh,
Okay.
okay. Got it. Yes.
Hey, and I wear it every day still, every day for years already, and people still coming up. I love your hat. I love your hat.
Yeah.
And people, I'm so glad you won it. Yeah, me too. So that's the reason I'm still wearing
Okay.
my hat.
Yes.
And there was, and I still have Democratic friends, and
Mm,
the one who didn't want to be a friend are gone a long time ago already.
mm,
And no, I have coffee with them, and I have no problems.
okay.
If you're Democrat, then
Yes.
just
Yeah,
just do
yeah,
yours.
we're here to just let people
Yeah,
questioning everything so they can be smarter, right? To see
yeah.
through
Let's hope. Let's
everything.
hope.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, people will find out when you get older, because every 10 years you think different.
Okay.
As you're 18, you don't know anything. And by the time you're 30, you're 10 years on the world. And then we'll say I'm 75 and I'm 55 years on the world, because the first 20 years of your life you don't know shit,
Okay.
nothing. Well, that's life. That's life.
Okay. Alrighty.
Okay, it was great
Thank
talking to you.
you.
Thank you for
Thank
taking the
you
video,
again.
because
We'll do it again.
you okay was on
We'll
this.
do it again sometime soon. Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Okay. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so much.
everyone. Have a good
Oh,
night.
okay. Bye,
Bye. Talk to
Selby.
you
Bye
later.
bye.
Bye.
Yep.